Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Old Gray Bricks. We're having kind of a messy Thursday here. Chris is busy doing stuff. Dana is still not feeling well. So it's a small crew tonight. I got Matthew, I got Jeff VW, and we're just sort of hanging out and kind of and what's going on. What are you guys doing?
I am very close to the end of sorting. I am down to black, light gray, dark gray, which are my least favorite colors to put away. And the end is in sight. Like I can now see significant chunks of my work table, which is encouraging because that means that opens the door for doing something creative, which I have not done for several weeks now. But so that's what's going on in my house.
Very cool.
I'm a few weeks behind Dana.
Hello, Brick Snaps.
Oh.
Join us. I think I sent the invite around. You should come and talk to us.
I'm a few weeks behind Dana in that I'm still sorting and also bought a bunch of stock from my Bricklink store, and I'm trying to put that all into my store. So I haven't been able to build for a while, other than a quick set I built on Sunday night during our build and chat session. But yeah, I want to get back to building mocks. I plan to go to Bricks Cascade, which is in less than a month now, and I have nothing built for it. So I'd like to build something or rebuild something. So hopefully
Yeah, it's
this weekend I can start.
One of the downsides of going to the show is, for me at least, there's a furious, jump at the finish to wrap up projects. And usually when I get back, I have mocks that have been broken and I have a giant mess in my Lego room. So
Yeah.
I've just now dug my way out of the mess.
Yeah, and I'm flying, so I have to build something that I can actually, pack up and take in a suitcase. So yeah, I'm going to try and take the Space Hanger that I originally built last year, which is in pieces anyhow, and rebuild it in a collapsible format that I can maybe put it into a suitcase that way. So,
are you still going, Matthew? Weren't you going to Bricks?
I'm not. So my paper did not get accepted to the conference, and school would have paid for my hotel and my trip out there. But without a paper, they won't pay for it. So it did not work out. And so unfortunately, I will not be going this time, but maybe some other time.
Bummer. Well, we've got Comical Ken and Dude Jude in the chats. Good evening. I realized before I got on my computer this evening that the show had not been scheduled in YouTube and stuff, so people might be sort of trickling in because they've realized we are indeed having a show. It's one of those things that Chris sort of texted earlier, and I said, "Oh, sure, I'll run the show," and I didn't think to get on and schedule it into YouTube, so it showed up anyway. So anyway, we're here. We're just doing a casual, messy Thursday. I'm looking around trying to decide what I was going to do. I thought I might build some kind of a Moonbase end cap. So this is my little Starbucks end cap, and I still need to make a sticker to put on the sign. But just in case people don't know what an end cap is, it's if you have a Moonbase and you have a module that has a hallway like this, and the hallway doesn't have a module connected to it, like it's just an empty kind of connection, you can stick an end cap on there, and the end cap sort of finishes out the little end of the hallway and makes it look like something. So I thought I might build, something. Sort of sitting here thinking about it. Chris made one that he had at our Moonbase that I don't think very many people saw it because he stuck it on the back of the Moonbase, but Chris made one that was like just a little door with a little platform outside, and he put he had the little CMF dude, this little guy. He had these little guys hanging out on it, just like a little platform with those guys sitting on it. So
the red robot is adorable.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was kind of thinking about making an end cap or two because they're small and I could throw something together before tomorrow. But I don't
What
know.
was that sci-fi movie with Bruce Dern as a young man? It's like a 70s where he's like flying through space and there's like botanical gardens and he just has the little robots as companion.
Silent Running.
There you go. That it reminds me of the silent running robot.
Or that a little bit like that little robot that they introduced officially in Book of Boba Fett the other few episodes ago. The little tiny one.
Oh, the BD-1.
Yeah. Which apparently was in games previously, but they finally added.
Yeah, that was a robot that was in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
So your character that you play has that little BD robot that sits on his back like a backpack.
Mhm.
And when you do stuff in the game, the robot hops down and it'll run and scan things or shine a light things or whatever.
That's pretty cool.
So
it's cool to
circle
see
back.
them. Yeah, go
Circle
ahead,
back to Jeff's comment about making things transportable. I mean, one of the things that's becoming clear to me is that, especially if you want to build something large, you really have to start thinking about how you're going to transport it way before you get the thing built. Because once you get it built, it's kind of too late. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's why when I built my Starbucks, I overbuilt this thing.
Mhm.
You know, the core of this thing is like almost solid brick, but it's sturdy enough. I can hold it up by one of the hallways like this. Like it's very sturdy and very kind of cross braced with brick. You know, bricks that are crisscrossed like this in the center just to get a lot of structural support because moon-based modules are things that tend to, when you're driving in the car, you'll hear little tinkling of pieces falling off of them if you don't make sure that they're really sturdy.
Yeah, that's one thing. If Brick Snaps were to join us, I'd be curious to hear about his thinking because he does build a lot of very large things, which he takes to shows and just figuring that process out before you get it all built. So then you're not going scratching your head going, okay, it's great. Now how am I going to get it to the show without it falling apart?
He was testing out the soluble glue, that water soluble.
That's right. Yeah.
He was going to test that out and see, if that could help.
He was like at Brick Fair. I was watching him pack up, and he basically had like 40 pounds of bubble wrap that he was just wrapping around every single piece he put in, and he just snug it into his crates.
Okay.
That he had. So, I mean, motion is the problem when you're traveling, right? If things can slide back and forth, then they're going to, and that's like all my towers have a little bit of room to wiggle around in that bin I had, and I mean they survive for the most part, but I mean there's damage on every one of them, just not as bad as it was originally. But I think reducing motion is the key.
Yeah, my buildings for the most part, because they're more or less square, they have a certain amount. My more recent ones have a lot more structural integrity than my first buildings were, but in the tall ones can sway when you press on the gas or the brake. And so like one of the things I did on this last trip is I actually took like a blanket and wadded it up behind. So if it went to lean back against the seat, it would be cushioned and it wouldn't forcefully slam against that seat. And it did seem to help. I didn't have any breakage on that particular item.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just trying to find those tricks and find the best way to pack things. So, I mean, I had a bin of towers or of the wall sections, and it was tightly packed in there. And the walls are hollow. Like it's like a line of brick on either side, like 6 studs apart, and there's an arch and a level, like a floor in between, like halfway up. And most of the walls, actually all the walls, pretty much survived perfectly because they couldn't move. Even though they had a lot of empty space within them, they just seemed to be pretty well packed. Oh, hey, Axel Plate. He's joined the chat too.
Yeah, Axel Plate showed up. Hello. I was looking through my assortment of videos. things are really cool, and I've never actually used them for anything.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
thinking I'll use this, and then I never did.
Yeah, it's a great looking piece.
Hmm.
I was sitting here trying to decide if I would kind of brainstorm a limb-based end cap or something.
Have you heard? I don't know if you guys saw what Dave St. Cier's group's doing up in Quebec. They're having a show. Well, they were hosting a show in April that is basically in a hockey rink, and they had 40 people sign up right fairly quickly, and they're all bringing huge amounts of stuff. So they've actually closed the show down for more people attending because there's no display space. So Dave was going to bring his big classic space layout, and he couldn't. So they started looking at a space base, like as an orbital platform type thing, and they're using those the space the space. There's a space set that came out, a city space set that came out, I think 2 years ago. That was the orange and white coloring, and they were basically modular corridors with a center hub.
Yeah.
And they're building corridors now based on that standard, and building basically like they're gonna. I guess they'll put it on a table, and they'll build like a few, X-shaped bases for it, like space stations on the base, and then they're going to build upward and just build off of all the connection points that they have and stuff. And I thought that was kind of a cool idea. It's like a, vertical moon base, if you will. But yeah, it seemed like an interesting concept. So I don't have any pictures though at the moment, and he's not online he's not watching this one, so.
Well, I think for lack of a better idea, I might actually build a little end cap platform with a door on it, the same that Chris did, just to kind of have something to build.
Mm-hmm. Was that the right one?
Although it could be fun to build like a laser gun platform or something like that. That's something else that people have done sometimes.
Do we is Ant Bandit bringing his giant gun to our display this week? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Obviously, I wouldn't be asking.
Yeah, Andrew posted a layout in the event page if you want to look at it. But
yeah, it's interesting. The last two shows, I've promised to bring less, and then somebody dropped out, and both times I was like, "Well, yeah, I'll just bring a couple more base plates of buildings." It's like my buildings are still in the car from 2 weeks ago because since I got home. And we're basically a one-car household. We just driven the other car. I haven't even taken the stuff out of the car.
Well, that's probably a good idea.
Now, after this week, this coming weekend, we'll have a month between our next show. So I'll unpack the car.
Yeah, 2 weeks between shows might be why we're not getting more people this weekend. Is probably there's a fair number. People are probably like, no, I'm not doing another show after 2 weeks. So
well, and that's one of the things that I want us to have a conversation about as a lug is not saying yes to every show, but starting to think about the year schedule for next year. If we had to choose 2 out of the 3, which 2 would we pick? And would we put on 2 better shows if we didn't have 3 shows in the span of a month and a half? And would we get enough people to maybe do Comic Con next year in Atlanta if we didn't burn ourselves out early in the year, which I'm a little concerned could happen.
Yeah, the Comic Con thing sounds kind of neat, but the long hours do not sound neat.
Yeah. They wanted us, for listeners, they wanted us to display from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Friday and Saturday. It's a long time. You got to queue up people to hang out and babysit the display,
Yeah.
and that's just a lot of hours to get people to commit to in July, June or July, when it's just peak vacation season down here. So I suppose it's peak vacation season just about everywhere, not just down here, but
Well, you guys start vacation in June, right? Like the kids are out in June?
most schools get out early June.
Early June. Okay, yeah. We're very late June. Like the last few days of June is when we let out.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we
and-
go right till September.
the summertime here is a 2-month summer, and it tends to be beginning. Paul last year he was done with school by the last weekend of May, and
Okay.
go back the first week of August. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like 1 month shifted. But that's not all the way through the States, so that's just in the south, right?
yeah, because
Because
the
the heat-
northern states might shift closer to what Canada does. Because I know schools out in Seattle are more like they
July and August off. Yeah.
yeah.
And here, a lot of schools start up in August. So
Mhm.
I would say most of the schools are going by at least mid-August, and a lot of them start the first week, which is still hot here. You know, air conditioning was running hard last year in August. So
Yeah, that's what I would think even in August.
I went to a college where the dorms did not have air conditioning, and it was really only a problem in August when it was pretty warm and people would have the windows open. But most of the rest of the year, it wasn't. You know, that was just it. It was like 2-3 weeks, and then it was fine.
Yeah. So were there? I haven't looked at Lego news at all this today. Was there anything new that dropped?
There were a lot of rumors today.
Okay.
There was a leaked photo of the Jabba's Palace set, which
That one was.
I can talk about it, but I can't show you the leaked photo on our show because that would be a no-no. But the photos can easily be found if people should happen to use a search engine to look around on the internet.
Spice Girls was.
Girls Brickheads. Yeah, that one I have to wonder if they've gauged their market on that one. Like, are there a lot of underserved Spice Girls fans out there asking for a Lego set?
Yeah.
Wait, that's an actual official set? I thought that was a joke.
Yeah,
That was. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to look up a photo, I'll toss it up on screen.
I've already seen the photo. Somebody posted it, and I thought it was like a fan design. I really did. I thought, oh, that's cute. Somebody did Spice Girls, and I didn't take it to be a real set. I just thought it was one of those like fan homage kind of things.
I'll pull it up in a second.
I just hope Scary Spice is really scary.
I saw somebody posted the photo on somewhere, and one of the comments, it might have been in our Discord earlier, but somebody was saying that Posh Spice was like, I mean, the figure is like nothing but a black dress and black hair or whatever, and it's like really, somebody was calling it bland Spice because the figure's not very interesting. There we are. There it is.
That Union Jack tile is going to be very popular.
Yeah, 2 pieces I think, but the only like that blue line down the middle kind of sucks. So, but yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So there's an insightful comment. Brian Pennebaker says, I think that's from their partnership with Universal. So
Oh, that would make sense.
that could be.
You killed video, so give us the Spice Girls.
Well, I don't know. I don't. I mean, I guess we're getting into the time where we're doing 90s nostalgia now. So maybe I really. Again, I don't know that this is going to be. Is this going to be one of those sets that sits around and goes on sale like the Queer Eye set, where they just kind of the fan bases are not really coinciding? Not sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think with the Queer Eye set is it's not a nostalgia set. I mean, it's a show that's on air right now, and I think maybe it came out too soon. If we're going to do 90s nostalgia, I just want to lay down a marker right now and said that if they do a Brickhead, Mulder and Scully, I would totally buy it and put it right next to my computer. Like I would be all over that kind of 90s nostalgia. And I'm sure there's other people who would also go crazy for some Buffy figures as well. So if they want to make some money off Gen Xers like me, I am telling you right now.
I could see Buffy having more of a fan base that might want a set than Spice Girls. Like that.
Yeah.
That would make more sense to me, but I don't know. I could be.
Definitely nothing I'm going to buy, at least. I'm not a huge Brickhead fan, and
Me either.
of course I have a Spice Girls song running through my head right now, but thanks a lot, Lego.
Well, yeah, the only Brickheads I own are the Mando and Child Brickheads, so
Yeah.
or
I pieced out every single Brickhead set that I bought. So
well, a lot of things have great parts in them.
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah.
I think the Chinese New Year one in particular, those have some great pieces in them. The other thing we got a rumor about is a Jabba's Palace, which would, I think it would probably sell quite well if it is an actual set. As Hasbro just rolled out an action figure version of Jabba's Palace, although it's Boba's Palace in this iteration. But obviously you could repurpose it if you wanted to make it into a Jabba's Palace. And the price point was fairly steep at $229, but my guess is that it will sell because people can't get enough of Boba Fett. So I think it'll sell. We'll see. Pre-orders are live now if you want to rush out and get one.
This is the Hasbro one, not the Lego one.
Yes, that's the Hasbro one, yes.
Yeah.
I think it's worth mentioning that Mr. Matthew has ordered the huge Razor Crest
A year ago.
Yeah.
You had to register a year ago and wait while they kept your money and they built it just like with the Java sail barge set. And I got the notice that mine has shipped. So whenever it arrives, I don't know, maybe Mark will come over. We could do an unboxing. Dana actually helped me unbox the sail barge. So.
I was going to tell you that Small Paul is out of school next week and I'm taking off work next week. So we could in theory come and visit and help you unbox that.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Which would be a hoot. And I'm sure Small Paul would love to see all of your Lego stuff. And
that's true. I don't know that he's ever been here. We've had a couple club meetings at my house.
Yeah. Paul was with me at the last club meeting that was at your house pre-COVID.
Okay.
There was a lot of people at that meeting, but he was with me.
Yes. Yeah, at that meeting, I kind of felt like I was trying to be the good host and I was running around and I didn't really get to talk to very many people because I was just kind of saying hi, and making sure people knew where the drinks were and bathrooms and all that jazz. So. It's kind of like the wedding reception. When you go to a wedding as a guest, you got lots of time to eat and chat. But when you're the actual couple, it's like you're saying hi to a whole bunch of people. And I remember at my first wedding that we left the venue and I think I had barely eaten anything. And I was like, I'm really hungry.
Yeah.
And I like to eat food, so I rarely miss a meal. I was like, I don't think I ate except for the piece of cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be like that.
Mark, do you ever work one of these Asian style hats into a space build? They're coming out in the light gray now.
I don't actually have any of those in light gray, but I absolutely would.
Yeah, I think they look cool spacey.
I'm
in a space set.
happy to use any piece that comes out in a gray or even black as a greeble.
This is another piece that I have no idea what it's actually supposed to be used for, but it's this round piece.
Oh, it's a Technic U-joint
Yeah.
or a ball joint. U-joint?
What does it connect to, though? It's got the little points on it.
It connects to a wheel hub. It connects to basically a wheel hub. So it's like one of the pieces that has like 3 pins on it, and then it's got the rotor, the rim. It's not the rim. It's the hub, basically. So it's more for the suspension part, so it can bend, right?
This is a newish piece, which is these like container pieces. They also come in a tan version, but you could put a 2x2 tile on top of them for a lid if you want to, but they could even be attached to the side of something. So probably start to see some of that appear. And then also, thanks to the
asking to see some old gray, which I don't think Matthew can do that because I think I have your old gray.
You have either all of my old light gray or dark gray, but I have a container of the other one still at the house.
I have it right
Yeah.
here.
Yes.
Look, I have all of Matthew's old gray. So
We made a trade. I got a Luke Skywalker. Was it Luke Skywalker or Boba Fett? I think it was the Boba Fett that was a Walmart exclusive that I couldn't find.
look at all the old gray. Look.
Woo! Old gray. So I think that's old dark. So I probably still have some old light gray.
Yeah, it is. It's old dark gray. And I still haven't gone through it. I've been meaning to go through it, and I have not. So,
But this is also a part that could be cool, spacey. It's the rounded platform piece that comes in the Mario sets, but it's in the light gray.
Did you just get a Bricks and Pieces order in?
Oh, I got it a while ago, and so
Oh.
you got some. As I'm sorting my Brick Fair pieces, I'm also sorting Bricks and Pieces orders that came at the same time. So yes.
Okay. Just gonna say, it's like you're getting an awful lot of new pieces there.
Oh, I have 3 orders outstanding on Bricks and Pieces right now. From when they did the Black Friday, you could get like a $5 voucher for fewer points, and so I got as many of them as I could, and then you could only use like one $5 voucher per order. So I put in like 3 modest size orders.
I got 4 of those vouchers and used them all in the same order that day.
You stacked them? Because I tried to put the codes in, and it would only take one code for me.
Oh, I was able to without an issue.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter. I ordered the same parts I wanted to order. I just broke it up into a couple orders. So basically, I lost out on $3.95 in shipping
for each order.
Yeah.
Which basically you got. So you basically only got like $1.05 in savings then per coupon.
Yeah.
Good work.
But I was going to order all those parts anyway. So.
Yeah,
so,
Bram said,
we've had people show up in the chat. We've had, let's see, Stever showed up. We got Moto showed up. I can't remember if I said hi to Axel Plate, but hello anyway. Brickools, Nathan Proudlove, and Brahm, Dr. Brahm. Yeah, we got a bunch of people showed up, so thank you for joining us because it's nice to see the chat is active since some of our regulars just haven't showed up this evening. As I said earlier, Dana is still not feeling well. He's still recovering from COVID, and Chris had some work-related things that he had to take care of. So we have a small crew tonight.
I see 2 people say that part I held up is the CV axle, and then Brahm said he had no problem stacking his discounts, so I guess I'm just incompetent.
Or you just got the system at a bad time type thing, right?
I don't know, but what I did is I waited to the January 1st parts became available on Bricks and Pieces. So I'll be very excited when those 3 orders show up because it's a whole bunch of pieces and colors that hadn't been made before. So there'll be new things that I'll have to find slots in the storage area because they've never come in that color or that shape before. But it's nice to have those things.
Yeah, I've been holding off from doing an order basically because I've been too busy doing other things. But I do want to do an order at some point. It will be mostly just pieces I want versus pieces I need. But
Yeah, there's a couple pieces that became available at the beginning of February that intrigued me, but I think I'm going to hold off before I do another bricks and pieces order.
yeah.
It seems like they're overwhelmed at the moment because they haven't shipped.
Well, and they just started the new system in Europe like yesterday or the day before, I think it was, and
Okay.
the prices have skyrocketed. Like parts that were like $2 and like $2.95 are now over $4 and things like
Oh
that.
my,
So there is some price adjustments on these things.
that's not good.
Now I don't know about the cheaper parts. Like those seemed to be more expensive. Like one of the I think it was a horse or something that had gone up. Or I can't remember what the part was that I'd seen that went up a lot. But
Well, I will say that the animals are kind of crazy on the secondary market. Whatever you pay for them on bricks and pieces, you can almost always see them going for double that on Bricklink immediately. Even when they're still available, they're double on Bricklink than what you're going to pay for them if you buy them off bricks and pieces. So,
as Comical Ken was saying, the Bricks and Pieces website still has that banner at the top that says that it's like 5 to 6 weeks before they can actually ship things. So
for processing it. Oh, it's not like that's even pre-shipping, or is that what you said? Sorry.
yeah, before they can ship stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of
well, traditionally they used to just shut it down for about 5 to 6 weeks at the beginning of the new year, and you just couldn't place an order. And they kept it open, so they're still receiving orders. But I'm wondering if they basically are just not processing they're doing the same thing they used to always do, which is, reset their stock room or whatever caused them to shut it down in the spring. I'm wondering if they're not doing the same thing, but they're just letting the order stack up, knowing that they can catch up later.
Yeah.
Hopefully catch up later.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Other Jeff.
Yeah, what's up?
It's couching it.
Yeah. I bought a work laptop, so I'm on my couch.
Ah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you're chilling out on the couch. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I have an auction in like 30 minutes, so yeah.
All right, it's all good.
What are you selling tonight, Jeff?
Laid back.
Lego.
Well, thanks. That was nice and descriptive.
I mean, just a bunch of stuff. A bunch of minifigures, a bunch of like third-party accessories, like single items, some comics.
Sorry, I was trying to get the clip.
That was a doggo.
It'll be a fun show. Like nothing show stopping when you like, oh my god, I can't believe you have that, but good stuff all around.
Until you start to sell it and someone decides to pay way too much money for it.
Yeah.
Because that was, had a few of those that were a little crazy.
What are you guys up to? Building anything?
Yeah, I'm working on a little Moonbase end cap thing, just a little platform. I don't know, something.
Mark, you never gave me your address.
Yeah, I completely forgot, and I realized that when I got down here this evening and looked at the Starbucks sitting here. Oh, I forgot to tell Jeff.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah. Hey, so I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah.
Kitty says bye-bye. We have a feline visitor in our Lego room. She doesn't come in here very often, but when she comes in, it usually means that she's hungry or she wants me to go to bed because she gets treats at bedtime.
So it's both food related then.
Yeah, 18 years old. She basically thinks about sleeping and eating, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I'm sure Small Paul would love to see your kitty if we.
Okay.
If we end up coming over to see the Razor Crest, I'm sure he would love to.
Well, she's gotten a lot better about meeting new people. She used to be very not friendly to strangers, but she's gotten better about that. So,
yeah, he loves cats, but I'm allergic to them, so we can't.
Yeah, you'll need to take some Benadryl before you come over.
I'll be okay with like one cat in the house and stuff. It's probably not going to bother me all that much, but I definitely could not have a cat of my own. But I'll probably take a preemptive Benadryl anyway.
Good choice.
My dog took off because her bed sits on the floor over here next to my bins. But if I open one of the drawers that's above her bed, she does not like it and she leaves. She's like, "You're disturbing me, sir." And she may come back in a few minutes, but she's making her displeasure known by her actions at the moment.
I should get a pet one of these days.
Yeah, it's been nice having a doggo because
We will definitely be getting a dog whenever our cat passes away. She does not get along with other animals. We tried once getting a kitten, and for 2 years she hissed at that kitten every single time it walked near her. She just never got over it. But I think Thomas really wants a dog, and I think it would be good to get him out of the house to at least, take the dog for a walk, which it would need. So I told him, yes, we will get a dog whenever she passes. And
I think Stever is not a fan. Although they have a couple.
How do we drop Stever?
They've got a couple of cats at his house that are not in good health, so there's lots of messes.
Oh yeah, that's that's the other thing. You have to know your limits. One of our friends here in Atlanta, they have 10 cats, and I as much as I love cats, I could not deal with 10 cats. It's just too much. So.
That's not a Shannon issue.
Yeah, that is. I was trying to protect his anonymity.
I'll be right back.
Anybody outside of our lug would know who we're talking about. So.
That way, no one will try to go to his house and steal his cats. Oh wait, Shannon might actually benefit.
I mean, Dana's got 5.
Yep.
Which
I also think is too many. But for me, at least, it would be too many. But
there's a lot. Oh, how do I do this first? Right? Yeah, that's right.
That's a good
so the
question,
other thing that happened this week or so is that there's some new interesting minifigs that showed up in the BAM at stores in North America. I know Emily Loves Lego on Instagram posted some pictures, and she works at the Sugarloaf store here in Atlanta. So if she posted pictures, that almost always means that they have them in the store.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is like, let's see if I can find the picture. It has like the translucent wings. Let's take a look here.
I'm scrolling through too, trying to find it. Looks like Lego's going to be expanding the Billund office too.
Yeah, my joke was, are they going to add like a nightclub so they can have 20 somethings who move there and not be complaining about how the town is slow and boring?
Well, I mean, from what I understand, most of the sort of younger folks tend to live in one of the nearby cities. When I went to visit to work on the Mars mission set, we one of the designers, his name's Will Thorogood, sort of took us over to a city called Colding, which is about half hour, maybe a little less. So we just rode over there and went to the sort of city center over there, walked around and went to a pub and hung out and stuff. So I think a lot of people do kind of a short commute.
Well, I was talking to one of the gentlemen on Sortlug, which is a Friday night. People are up kind of all night around the world, and that's great. Lego store in Iowa. Congratulations. That means you can get some of the stuff that's only in-store exclusives or gift with purchases, which is pretty sweet. I certainly enjoy living 12 minutes from my local Lego store. So congratulations to Ireland. I was talking to one of the gentlemen who had worked at Lego in Denmark for some time, and I think he's now living in North America. And he was saying that some of the designers who don't have to be on campus regularly live in Copenhagen, but that it's a very long commute. Like it's 2 hours by the time you take the train, you make the connection, and by the time you end up in Billund. So it's not the kind of commute most people are going to want to do on a daily basis. So some people might be willing to live like an hour train ride away, but it is kind of out in the sticks. So
Yeah, there's nothing in Billund. It's an airport and a Lego factory and a very small town.
Still want to visit it though. There's nothing you can say that can stop me from wanting that.
Well, I mean, there's the Legoland Park that's with the Lego facilities, so you know.
Yeah. And apparently a new and improved headquarters too.
Yeah, I mean, they built the Lego house. There's a whole bunch of stuff there that wasn't there when I was there, so there's plenty to see.
Yeah.
Well, now my doggy has returned. Hello, doggy.
well, if I ever win the lottery, I will be going on the factory tour, but probably not unless I win the lottery.
I know people that have gone there and just met the right person or knew the right person, and they got an unofficial factory tour, but
Nice.
doesn't have all the perks as the actual factory tour does.
You don't get the super exclusive set.
When I was there, we got to sort of go along with the factory tour, although I didn't get a super exclusive set either, but because we were there, we got to kind of walk along with the people who were getting the factory tour. So I got to see it was still, everything was still in operation and everything, and we got to see the robots. That was kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
They have the robot. They're almost like little robotic carts that roll up to where things are coming. The bricks coming out of the molds go into these bins, and then when the bins get full by weight, little robotic cart rolls up, and the bin goes onto the cart, and then the cart takes it wherever it's supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of neat to see. They also have a really interesting kind of automated warehousing conveyor belt sort of system that all the bricks get put into plastic bins that have tops that close over them and barcodes on them, and these bins go like up these little elevator things in the corner, and you see them whizzing around in tracks overhead being sent to wherever they go in the warehouse, and that's kind of neat to see too.
Did they show you where they pull the parts for bricks and pieces, or is that not done in Billund?
I mean, at the time there wasn't bricks and pieces, so
Gotcha.
I saw something that was the extremely early days of Lego Factory, where I saw the room where they were picking parts out of bins.
Oh, yeah.
That could be anything or anywhere now. And that could be completely different, or
Now, if I remember correctly, people who go on the factory tour, they often get to see sets that have not been made public, but they have to swear and sign documents that they will not reveal these things. Did you get to see any pre-production when you were there?
Yes, when I was there, I got to see the UCS Millennium Falcon before it was revealed.
Wow, that was when? What year did you go? That must have been a couple years before it came out.
2006.
Okay, it wasn't that long ago then. Okay,
I went in the spring of 2006, and it was they had the UCS Millennium Falcon sitting on a just out on a table in the design building. From what I understand, the design building is some completely other building now. Like all of that stuff has completely changed from when I was there, so it's all different. But yeah, it was very cool to be able to see that at the time. because no one had seen it yet.
Hmm.
When when I worked at the Lego store, our manager came back from the national store managers meeting. He says, "Wow, there's some really cool sets coming out." And I was like, "Oh, are they going to make this?" And he goes, "I don't remember." And I said, "Are you just saying that so you don't get in trouble?" He said, "I don't remember anything, and that way I don't have to remember what I'm supposed to keep secret or what I'm not supposed to keep secret."
We one year we were invited to this is years ago. We were invited to Lego's headquarters in Ontario, like here in Canada. And I mean, it was just a sales office, really, but they did have a product room in the back, and they had some sets there that hadn't been released yet. But it was some weird. It wasn't Duplo, but it was some weird show based on or some weird sets that were like very juniorized type thing, but they were based off of some cartoon that we had never heard of because we were all not at the age of watching kids cartoons. But I don't know that I ever saw them hit the shelves.
Hmm.
And I'm trying to remember what they were now, and I don't even remember.
Well, maybe they got pulled.
Yeah, they might have been. I don't know. So, it wasn't really a great story. Sorry about that.
Well, it sure wasn't the juniorized version of that like military helicopter that got pulled.
No, it was. I'm trying to think. It was basically just a bunch of figures. Like there were some sets, but there was basically just some figures that were not minifig style. They were just like, I don't want to say Galador or something like that because they weren't. But
Are you sure you're not talking about Adventure Time?
no, it was way no. This is like early 2000s.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So the V-22 is a tilt rotor airplane, Matthew.
Apparently, it deals death and destruction from above, though.
No, it doesn't. It's a transport.
Oh, so they should have made it.
It does deliver Marines to places where they run out of it and deal death and destruction, though. So it's it's at least it's kind of it's death and destruction adjacent.
Moto says, when I mentioned that when my cat dies, my husband can get a dog. Moto says, did you inadvertently make someone look forward to your cat dying? Okay. My husband dearly loves my cat, and he will not wish for her death. But that'll be a consolation when she passes that we will get some new kitties and a dog. Somebody says Germany is near. Go to Hamburg and the Reeperbahn. I think that's how you say it. I have no idea what the Reeperbahn is.
I don't know either.
It's the brother of the Autobahn. I mean, Bahn is highway, but I don't know
Yeah.
what it is.
I don't know. Maybe the person in the comment will clarify what the Reeperbahn is. So this is old news for probably most people. I finally got around to seeing the Spider-Man Far From Home, and without giving away any plot points for anyone who hasn't yet seen it, I will say that there's a couple nods to Lego that appear in the film, and I found that quite delightful. Mm-hmm. Early in the film, you see a Lego set, and then late in the film, you see a Lego minifigure, and I was not expecting that, to be honest. I had heard that there was some appearance of Lego in this film, but I figured it was more or less in the background. But it was right center in the screen. They definitely featured it. So I don't know if that just represents part of, the cooperation between Marvel and Lego as two corporate entities, but also the fact that Peter Parker and his friend are supposed to be young, high school age people who is more frequently the demographic that builds Lego. Obviously, everyone present is an adult fan with Lego, so we know that you don't have to just be a school age child to build Lego. But I enjoyed it.
Did you not see the previous, like the first one, Homecoming?
I did see that one. that one I felt like the Lego was being used as a element of the plot, and so the catastrophic thing that happened was part of the plot development. But I felt like this use of the Lego was not so much about moving the plot line along, but actually like sitting there staring at Lego for its own sake. So I guess I felt like it was a slightly different utilization of the product in the films. Brandon Griffith built the Lego models in the movie.
For people who don't know, Brandon Griffith is one of our A4 compatriots who kind of goes back a ways with us.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know him personally.
He's one of those California A-Poles. So here's something fun. I'm trying to look in this bin and see if I have any new dark gray inverted slopes, because my bin is full of old dark gray inverted slopes.
So one of the things I found out when we were completing our bulk lug order and our local chapter, both the 1x slope and the inverted 1x slope in dark gray made our final element list. And Dana was telling me that the inverted part is actually fairly expensive on Bricklink. Like if you want to get 50 of them, you're going to be paying a fair amount for each one. So even though I don't build a lot in dark gray, I went ahead and took the plunge and got 100 of them, I think, or 50 of them.
Well,
Because
the old dark gray inverted slope, I have a mozillion of these because the toy clearances were epic in the early 2000s.
Yep.
When the Sith Infiltrator went on sale, it was full of these things. These there were just tons of that part in that set. So that's why I have a whole lot of them.
Well, these were the 3-stud high version of the inverted and not the 2-stud high. But still, I mean, that's what happens. I mean, I bought a whole bunch of the Aquaman set that was like a $15 set, and I ended up getting them for half price. And they had 20 sand green masonry bricks 1x2 in each box, and I bought 10 of them, ripped them open. And so I have a ton of Aquaman figures. If anybody needs an Aquaman figure, drop me a note.
No one knows.
I have a lot of Aquamans, and you only need so many Aquamans. At least I do. I don't need a ton of them. So I need to do a whole Atlantis setup where I could just use all my Atlantis minions to populate the scene.
Is it Jason Momoa Aquaman?
Jason Momoa. I remember when that movie came out, one of my friends saw it, and her comment was, "It's bad, but it's almost like wink at the film bad." I was like, okay. I said, well, at least you were entertained.
Well, I had heard that they just didn't know if they would ever get a sequel to it, so they figured they'd just throw everything as much in as they could and make it as action-packed as possible. And
Is that right?
well, that's what I heard. Who knows?
I heard a lot of moaning about the Book of Boba Fett episode before I actually got around to watching it this week, and because my expectations were lowered, I actually enjoyed the episode more than I thought. So thank you to all those people who were complaining about the episode, because I went in thinking, well, this is going to be not great, and it exceeded my this is going to be terrible expectation. So I actually enjoyed it.
For most of those, I go in with the thought of who cares what it is? It's Star Wars. Let's just watch it for what it is, and if it's fan service, then awesome, and if not, then that's cool too, right?
It's one of those things that it's just it's Robert Rodriguez directed this one.
Yes.
If you like his sort of campiness that he puts into things, then some people enjoy his campiness, and I don't mind it when it's in certain movies, like his. Desperado was extremely stylized and kind of, the campiness worked within its context. But I don't think that his brand of campiness really works that well with Star Wars. Even though Star Wars has its own amount of cheese and silliness that it does, I don't think the Robert Rodriguez brand of cheese and silliness meshes well with it.
No, I was not a fan of the Moped Gang episode,
Yeah,
which he directed. That was probably my least favorite of that particular series. So,
yeah, like why mopeds? Seriously,
right.
is that
Like,
just what
I
they
would-
could afford? Like,
They were meant to look like the scooter gangs from London, with all the mirror
Yeah.
lights and things on them. But they really did not work within the context of that. So yeah.
I have to admit, I did enjoy watching. Oh, I got to be careful here. Watching the creature do the creature things. The large creature doing the large creature things. in that
I know Small Paul will absolutely love that. So
yeah,
I was entertained by that. I'll just say that.
yeah, and I know that Small Paul is going to be all about that. He'll be very enthusiastic about that. So
Yes, given his taste, I'm sure Small Paul will be like, yeah.
yeah, I'm sure that he will verify that it is sick.
it was
I got to
entertaining.
get him a T-shirt that says "Rich Rodriguez is the best director ever." Small Paul.
That's interesting. Oh,
Well, I've almost completed this little cap thing that I was working on. It's not much, but it's something quick and easy I was able to do.
Axel's asking if we're excited to watch Obi-Wan.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm pretty tired of doing.
I like Ewan McGregor in almost every role he plays. So yes, I think I will.
I do like him.
Mhm.
I like him, but so yeah, there it is.
He was.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah,
It's just
he
a-
was one of the best things about the prequels was seeing Ian McGregor play Obi-Wan. Like I still enjoy his scenes in those movies, even if I roll my eyes at some other things.
I'm trying to think. What is Obi-Wan the next thing that is coming out on Disney Plus from Marvel / Star Wars?
It comes out in May, at the end of May.
So what are we going to watch for like the next month and a half? There must be something else coming up.
I don't know. It sounds like a crisis.
No, I think Moon Knight. I think that's starting soon.
Oh, is that right?
I think so. I have to look it up.
Well, I am looking forward to Lightyear because the trailer for Lightyear
Oh,
came
yeah.
out, and it looks really fun.
But no ship shown this time. I wanted more shots of that ship so I could build it.
Yeah.
Now, see, that I'm less excited about just because I was not necessarily a big fan of the Toy Story franchise, but we'll give it a watch.
Moon Knight comes out March 30th. So we've got like a month of.
Oh, but this is
Yeah.
not about Toy Story. This is about the movie that the kid went to see that the toy is based on.
This is his.
Well, that makes it totally different.
It
Totally.
does make it totally different.
Yes.
It's not the Toy Story Buzz Lightyear in the movie. It is the real Buzz Lightyear in the movie.
The Chris Evans Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. It's an important distinction.
To infinity and beyond. Does he
Well-
say that?
Yeah, that's Buzz Lightyear's catchphrase. But it is officially 9:00 Eastern time, so we should land the plane, as Chris would say. But thank you to everybody in the chat for joining us this evening. While
We're sorry the discussions were so heated tonight. We'll try to do better.
it was pretty casual this evening, but it was fun. So,
Yep.
Anyway, thanks everybody, and we will be back on Monday. Hopefully, we will be back with Dana as well on Monday. It'd be nice if he feels better.
And hopefully we get some pink wheels. I'd like that pink wheel show up here as well. It's been a while since we saw her.
Yep, it would be good. I think they're going to be around a bit this weekend, which would be good because Small Paul and Small Wheels enjoy hanging out together. So
They do. Yeah. It's good to see. I mean, kids don't, even if the parents get along, kids do not automatically get along with the children of their parents' friends. But I was glad to see them having a good time at Brick Fair, Alabama. And they seem to like each other's company. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they hang out and have a good time. So anyway, good evening, everybody, and we will see you next time. So have a good weekend.